Super brand Super Snub. This is an older company that used to produce ammunition, and they quit for a while and they just came back not too long ago. This is a 90 grain jacketed hollow point plus P, and it is rated at 1,300 feet per second out of a 1.875 inch Smith & Wesson J-frame. So if those numbers are correct, that's some very powerful ammunition. And like what I always like to do is compare ammunition, and the only thing I have in my arsenal that's going to compare is a 9mm out of a 4-inch barrel, if those numbers are correct. So this is the only ammunition I have that's going to be pretty much in that power range. It's going to be comparable as far as bullet weight and construction and all of that. So we're going to go through water jugs and wood. We're going to hit the chronograph, see what kind of velocity numbers we're going to get. We're about 6 or 7 yards from the chronograph where I shoot, so if we can get that 1,300 feet per second or even 1,280 from where I'm shooting from, then it is rated at the rated velocity of a snub. So I'm very interested in seeing what kind of performance we got. So let's get started with the chronograph testing. And by the way, a viewer supplied this ammunition, so thank you very much. And we'll see what kind of numbers we get through the chronograph and see what it does to water jugs and wood. And of course, I always have 4 layers of denim on the front of my jugs. So let's get started. All right, let's see what kind of velocity numbers we get with the critically fenced 9mm out of this 4-inch Ruger Security 9. $11.51, $11.34, $11.63, $11.22, and $11.45. Now let's see what kind of velocity numbers we're getting out of the Super Snub by Super+P. Alright, here's the Super+P Super Snub. $12.01. Error. $12.80. $12.78. $13.81. By the way, Super+P did provide these speed strips for free when I ordered directly from them, which is a pretty nice touch. Let's get another round and confirm the velocity. No read. I think I'm getting readings. I can't see, I'm fogging up. It's a brutally cold day out there. So pretty interesting results. We got some that were off of the rated velocity, but some were much above it. Now I did fire a couple rounds when it was a little bit warmer out. It is 25 degrees and 11-degree wind chill. However, this ammunition was kept warm and kept on my body as well, and kept in my inside. So pretty interesting velocity readings that we got. One that was quite a bit lower. Now recoil was pretty much horrendous, pretty much like a 357 Magnum, a little bit less than that, but still pretty bad. So let's see what kind of results we got when we shoot water jugs and wood and see how they compare to the 9mm critical defense. Alright, for a baseline of comparison, we're going to shoot the 9mm into water jugs and see how that does, and then we'll see how the Super Snub compares. Here's the 9mm. Alright. We have the bullet in the 3rd jug. Take a look at that. Here's jug 1, here is jug 2 with the 9mm, and as expected, we do get really good performance with the critical defense 9mm. It's a pretty good round. And let's look at the bullet in jug 3. Pretty good. I'll take an estimate and say probably 60/100ths of an inch. Now let's see how that 38 Special compares. Alright, here's the Super Val 90 grain 38 Special+P. We'll see how that does in water jugs. Whew. I got wet. Here's jug 1 and 2. 2 look the same between the 9mm and 38, and actually a little more damage with the 38 on the first jug. Here's jug 3, jug 4, and we caught the bullet in jug 5. And this is all we're getting with the Super Snub. Not much expansion. Not much compared to the 9mm, and very small bullet, you know, but it got good penetration, I'll give it that. And it didn't really over penetrate too much, but the expansion's a little iffy here. So let's see how they all compare against wood. Right, here's the 9mm critical defense. Right, here's the Super Val Super Snub. Alright, let's open this thing up and take a look. Right, here's board 1 with the 9mm and with the 38 Special. And we got something stuck. And that was just wood. And we got, here's the 9mm, here's the 38, and kind of the same thing what we saw in water. We're seeing more damage, like more expansion with the 9mm than the 38. And here is just board 2. And what we got is both. So we got the 9mm here, and here's the 38. I would call it that this has more penetration, however it's a much shorter bullet because it's lighter. So I would say they're pretty much dead even as far as the penetration that they got in wood. Pretty much even. So my takeaway and conclusion of today is it's a pretty powerful round. I saw a little bit inconsistency on that first shot with velocity, which is a little bit strange with the 38 Special. But overall, it's a very powerful round. It seems to perform pretty well. I would say, I haven't crunched the numbers yet, but I would say that it performs as well as a 9mm in a 4-inch barrel. So if you have a 4-inch barrel Glock 19, you know, this round will perform the same amount of foot-pounds energy roughly out of a little snubby. However, you're going to pay for it with recoil, because the recoil was just absolutely horrendous. It wasn't as bad as the 158 grain plus P soft lead buffalo bore bullet round, but it was pretty close. It was a little bit more than some of the TAC XP, buffalo bore, stuff like that even. So it's a little bit much, but muzzle rise wasn't too bad because the bullet was, you know, kind of low. But the actual, you know, gunpowder blast recoil force in your hand, it's there. It's pretty equivalent to, let's say, firing a 357 Magnum out of a 20-ounce steel revolver. That's about what this felt like. It's not horribly bad, but it's certainly not for everybody. So is it a good round? I would say it has the power. It does have the power. For me personally, it's not going to be a carry round because it is a little bit extra recoil, and you know, the extra power that you get is probably going to be offset by some of that extra recoil and muzzle blast. So if you need power, it's definitely going to be there as far as having good power and matching some of the 9mm rounds out there. So that's what I'm getting today. It seems to be okay. Nothing really spectacularly great about it other than it is very powerful. It is very powerful, more powerful than most. So that's what you get with the Super Val 90 grain Super Snub round. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.